In the previous video, we multiplied this out by writing 2x minus 4y 3 times and using the table, and we got the answer as this. In this video, we're going to use the Pascal triangle to help us quickly get the coefficients of the answer, which is 8, negative 48, 96, and negative 64. So let's start with a binomial such as a plus b raised to the 0 power. So anything raised to the 0 power is 1. So we know that Pascal triangle always starts with 1. And then we have a plus b raised to the first power, and the coefficients for a and b raised to the first power is just going to be 1 and 1 because it's just going to be a plus b. So second row is going to be 1 and 1. And then for a plus b raised to the second power, if we distribute that quickly, that's the same thing as a plus b times a plus b. And we know that's the same thing as a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So the coefficients for each term is 1, 2, and 1. And if you notice the pattern, in the Pascal triangle, it's always going to start with 1 and end with 1. And to get the numbers between the 1, you simply add the two numbers above it. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So therefore, to get the coefficients when we have a plus b raised to the third power, which is the one we want, then we know that the coefficients for this is going to be starting with 1, and then 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 plus 1 is 3, and it ends with 1. So now your a is going to be 2x in our problem, and then your b is going to be negative 4y. So when we write this, our answer is going to be 1 times the first term times the second term, which is a and b. And then plus 3 times the first term and the second term, plus 3 times the first term and the second term again, and the last one plus 1 times the first term and the second term. So again, like we said, a is going to be the 2x. And if you look at the answer, you notice that for the first term, the highest exponent is going to start with 3 because that's our problem, and then it goes down by 1. So I'm going to write down my first term, which is 2x, and then the highest exponent is going to be 3. And then go to the next term, it's going to go down by 1 each time. So next one is going to be first power, and then to the 0 power. And then for the second term, you start with the lowest exponent, which is 0, and then it goes up by 1 each time, as you can see for the y here. So therefore, I'm going to have a negative 4y raised to the 0 power, and then next one would be the first, and then increasing by 1 to the second, and then negative 4y raised to the third power. And as you can see, the sum of the exponents in each term is always going to be 3. So now we just have to simplify each term. So negative 4y raised to 0, we know that's going to be 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So the first term we have is 2 raised to the third power, which is 8, and then x to the third power. For the second term, we have 2 squared, which is 4. So we have 4x squared here. So now we just multiply the numbers. 3 times 4 is 12 times negative 4. That's going to give us negative 48. And then we have x squared. And then just y. For the third term, we have negative 4y squared. So that's going to give us positive 16y squared. So we have 3 times 2, 6 times 16. That's 96. And we have x, and then bring down the y squared. And for the last term, 2x raised to the 0 is 1 again. 1 times 1 is 1. So we just have negative 4 raised to the third power. That's going to be negative 64, and then y to the third power. And that's how you expand this using the Pascal triangle.